You know the people that are most against defunding the police in the United States? You know the people who are most against defunding the police in the U.S.? Black Americans who live in the poorest in urban communities in the U.S. are like, hell no, we're not going to defund the police, right? So it's like, okay, so then what? So like the police are the only thing protecting us from the criminals.
What's up, YouTube? Hope you guys are feeling good. Today, guys, we're back here on a new video, guys. Today, we're going to be checking out the difference between January 6th and BLM protests. This is going to be good. This is for my professor, Penn State University. This is going to be interesting to watch. All of us check the video out. It's very enlightening and very educative. Let's get right to today's video, guys. Poof.
You understand George Floyd, people going out into the streets, finally saying, we're done, man. We've been watching this happen, and we're just done. We're out in the streets. What happened on January 6th is that Donald Trump made the proclamation to his supporters that this election was stolen. And some of them just sort of were battling with the police. You know, beating down the walls and breaking windows and storming into the Capitol building, right? And some of them, go to the next slide, got inside the Capitol building. They were just walking around. There are people with their phones up like, oh, damn, I'm in the Capitol building. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I was at a rally 4 hours ago. I got caught up in the energy, just like Penn State students get caught up at the end of a football game, and you're out there with no shirts on, and in like 10-degree weather with your body's painted and you're not even cold because you're just crazy involved in it. And so you get caught up in all the emotion of that. And so there you go. And so, well, that's these people. Some destroyed property, like Anthony's aunt, okay? Anthony Smith, some destroyed property, others didn't. The question is, so what do we do with these folks?
I mean, I think we have laws for a reason. So, I mean, just take each person as it is and just see what they've done.
Like, who are they? Put them in a box.
Cult members.
Cult members?
Yeah. Am I going to say everybody in that crowd is racist? No.
Good.
But I also think that...
Well, how about people who showed up in Philly for the George Floyd protests? Would you say that's part of a cult?
No.
How come? What's different?
It's different when you're reacting to one moment in history that you don't like, and that really, it has an effect on you, but the system itself will keep, no.
Dude,
garbage.
This is so odd. You're listening to this, right? So here's Tori up here. She said, okay, I'm going to walk into this world and I'm going to think out loud. And I'm pushing you in different directions, and you got to think your way out of this. And you're seeing where you're stuck in a hallway, and you're like, yeah, okay, now I gotta get smarter here real fast. And at what point do you have to say, okay, I'm wrong about this? Or like, yeah, I haven't thought this through yet. And this is the difference between just throwing opinions out and ideas. Cool. But y'all are these pacifist people. And like at some point in time, man, we have armies for a reason, bro. You know what I mean? And so sometimes you need an army to defend whatever or to attack, either one, but nonetheless. Okay. So do you have any idea how many people die at the hands of the police every year in the United States?
Too many.
How many? Do you have?
No.
Okay. Do you have any idea, bro? Do you have any idea? How many you think? Throw a number out there. How many people do police kill every year?
Probably like hundreds, whether that's justified or not.
What do you think? Throw a number. It's more than hundreds, but it's about 1,000. Do you know how many of those people that police kill are unarmed?
Nice question.
Bro, it's 1,000. How many are unarmed? Unarmed? Yep.
Saying like 30.
30 of them?
Yeah.
What do you think?
450.
Okay, it's about 100. How many are black on average every year? How many unarmed black people black Americans are killed by the police every year? Bro, coming back to you. What? Yeah. How many of the 100 or so unarmed people are black who are killed by the police? 50% of them? 15%?
Probably like 20%.
20%? Bro.
30.
Yeah? What do you think?
We're gonna lowball it and say 20.
Okay. Yeah, so it's about 30 or so. Okay? Now, there's about 40 million black Americans in the United States. Okay? There's a lot of look, we have 400 plus million guns in the United States. We have so many guns. We are a gun-toting society. We love our guns. Police are afraid of guns. You know what I mean? Like, police are like, what's the greatest danger to police is, I mean, there's so many things, but guns, like there's so many guns, right? So everything a police officer does in any engagement is dangerous at some level because people have so many guns. So you don't know who has guns. There are bad cops. There are good cops. There are cops who never should be cops. There are teachers who never should be teachers. There are cops who are amazing. There are teachers who are amazing. Okay? This is how this operates. If we think about the conversations about how many people police kill, I've asked groups of police officers how many people they think police kill in the United States. There's about 1 million police officers, like sworn police officers in the U.S. On average, what do you think they say on average? How many people they think they kill every year when I ask them?
Like each individual officer?
Yeah, if I say, like, you're a police officer, I'm like, hey, how many people do you think you all kill, police officers kill in the United States every year? What do you think the average answer is that I get from them?
1 to 2.
Dude, like 25,000. They'll be like, 25,000 is like 15,000,
For one
25,000,
person?
30,000. I'm like, dude, like cops, no, not one person. Cops think like all the cops together in the U.S. are killing if I asked them, it'd be like 20,000 people. I'm like, dude, you guys aren't like mass murderers. It's 1,000 people, which is like, okay. So now the question becomes, if we're not thinking this through, people have the idea that police are killing innocent black Americans all the time. But on average, about 30 a year, which is 30 too many. Dude, every death, I've never once spoken with a police officer who did not say the following: every person who is killed engaging with police, either police or someone who's not police, is a tragedy. It's a fucking tragedy. People don't want to kill people. And if you don't understand that, then you just need to go out and speak with police. And to the degree to which I've had conversations with police, okay? So it's like, nobody wants to kill people, man. You know what I mean? You know what it would be to kill someone and have that on your mind? Doesn't even matter if it's self-defense or whatever the case is, okay?
Sure.
So now I just want to bring that back in line with, now I want you to have a conversation about, I want to talk about the George Floyd protests. Like, people who are out in the streets and these folks are out in the street, out at the Capitol building because Donald Trump told them, we've lost the election. Okay? Well, other people are out on the streets because people have been told police are massacring black Americans. And look, disproportionate number of black people are killed by the police. But I'm just trying to do my thoughtful diligence to put it in perspective, okay? So what do the two of you think about that?
And I just feel like everything's just blown out of proportion.
So the media are all of us, by the way, but nonetheless. So you think the media are putting stories out there like...
Mostly like the news and journalists.
Yeah, well, people do a story that people think we want to hear. Yeah. So, but that doesn't mean that's the story. So, like, people put the Trump story out. They kept hammering it away day after day. Trump says the election was stolen. X, Y, and Z person says the election was stolen. The election stolen, election stolen, election stolen. Like, okay, we got to get out in the street and we got to get the country back. Well, if people are like, police are out of control in murdering Black Americans in a way that's just really just beyond reproach, right? Well, you get out in the streets, man. Like, go out in the streets. Of course, protest. These are the George Floyd, the BLM protests. Like, be out in the streets.
Now, this is me being a little bit narrow-minded. However, people who are marching in the streets for George Floyd, they are in the streets to bring awareness and destruction, honestly, to a system.
Only a very small amount of destruction.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I just wanted to ease the crowd.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
A little bit of chaos to amplify the system that has been disenfranchising Black people for centuries. Now, when you put numbers to it, of course, it's amplified by word of mouth, by media attention and everything. But that doesn't stray from the fact that this is a systematic issue that we need to be in the streets for. I think the people at the insurrection, it's kind of, yes, in that same principle, the election process is a systematic issue. It is flawed. But this is one particular moment in history to where, like, someone stealing an election from a group of people.
From the whole public.
From the whole public. Like, it disenfranchises particular people. And when we're talking about the people who are here, that is for a system that usually already benefits them.
What's going on here is when you sit up on this table and you have to make a really reasonable argument, and I've set this up already, so it's going to be hard to make a reasonable argument. Now you're going to have to go back. It's really difficult, right? But you're going like, okay, and you're shifting. If an election gets stolen, every single citizen of the country is disenfranchised.
True.
Yeah. So it's not just certain people. There are many, many Black and brown people in that group right there. Yeah. So it's everybody. Just like in the George Floyd protests, there were many, many, many white people or people who are not Black. Do we have a question from the stream, by the way? Donnie G says, I feel like we can't have discussions about how our dualistic perspective is the real problem causing all these symptoms. Yeah. What prevents us from seeing the real problems and not just the symptoms? Dualistic perspective is kind of like right and wrong, good and bad, right? Do you feel like we're trying to get away from a dualistic perspective here? Does it feel like that for you? Do you guys feel like that? Do you feel like you're trying to?
Sorry.
Yeah.
What this question's talking about, I'll be honest.
The dualistic is like where we have to. Do you want to say?
So yeah, I think this is just talking about how the way that we have these binary systems in all of our systems, really, a lot of the people are just seeing the symptoms and causes of why the binary is conflicting rather than why the binary is created in the first place that's causing this conflict.
Dude, fuck. Thank you, man. I owe you that. I owe you for like a minute and a half of my pay for the day. All right. I couldn't have thought of that. Yeah, it's like police. Are the police good or are the police are either good or the police are either bad? They're bad, one or the other. It's like, you study the police, you talk to police.
Which is why ACAB is so important.
No, it's why ACAB is such an extreme piece, right? Look, You know the people that are most against defunding the police in the United States? You know the people who are most against defunding the police in the U.S.? Black Americans who live in the poorest in urban communities in the U.S. are like, hell no, we're not going to defund the police, right? So it's like, okay, so then what? So like the police are the only thing protecting us from the criminals.
Sure.
Bro, what do you think about that?
Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know why you would generalize the whole group of cops. I don't really get the whole movement personally.
Yeah, the whole movement. Well, one thing is that you're putting pressure on the police, right? The good thing about BLM and about critiquing the police is like every group of people needs pressure on them. Like right now, like when people critique higher education and professors and really like hammer us, even if they don't know what they're talking about, that's really good for me because it means I have to stop and look in a mirror and say, what am I doing? What's going on here? Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? Like it means I have to hold myself accountable, right? So critiquing the police in that sense is a really good thing. Cops are like, okay, this is good. We have to be accountable, right? And so that's the beautiful thing about that. Yeah. Is there another question? Chelly, man, do you think it's okay or acceptable for an educator to lose control of his emotions and commit a crime, right? Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, good question. Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's really important to watch our educators because these are the people that are kind of like influencing our future generation. So I feel like if an educator is like committing like a crime like that, I think it's not really a good thing for him to be teaching other children.
Yeah. I got you. Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, so we got to hold them to a higher standard then maybe, right? Do you? Listen, as a black woman though, wasn't like a message in your life is like you're gonna be held to a higher standard because you're black and people are they're gonna critique you more than they're gonna critique a black woman. They're gonna critique you more than Rob right here.
Every damn day.
Every day. So you're gonna be held to a higher standard by other people in your community, and that's a good thing. Your family, like that's a good thing. Like okay, I feel like that. I guess with education. Is there another question? Eric said, if you were exercising your right to free speech and peaceful protest, when does it become okay for law enforcement to intervene? Oh, dude, man. Yeah. I don't know, man. And this is the difference between the cop who just wants to beat heads and the cop who just wants to chill things out. And my experience is far more cops want to chill things out than knock people's heads together. But that's But I'm a white guy. Can we go to the slide of this guy? One final thing. This guy right here, Stephen Ayers, the guy on the left, he's apologizing to the cop and he's saying, "Hey man, I'm really sorry. I lost my mind." Anthony Ant Williams, or Smith, I think his name. "I lost my mind. I just was following all the protesters. I followed Donald Trump. If Donald Trump had said, leave the Capitol building, I would have left. He didn't say it. Like, I'm really sorry." He said the same damn thing that Ant said. Same thing. So do we treat him the same way?
I'm going to say yes, but I think my answer also doesn't matter because it does matter, but the difference between those two is that the judicial system already benefits him. So regardless of, he was like, yeah, I did that shit, and what? There will still be a chance where like, well, no, I know you have good in your heart. You get off on probation. Where Ann is like, oh, like, my bad. I was just fighting for the cause. Like, please excuse my behavior. And they can be like, slave, and then put you in prison.
So you think he's going to be treated differently?
Of course.
Yeah.
But I know there's going to be some twist where it's like, he got 85 years. And I'm going to be like, dang.
No, he got probation.
Open dialogue. I love that they were honest, especially the black girl. She was very, very honest in what she was saying, based on how she felt as what she spoke as, but some of the things she said do not resonate with me. Number one, the January 6th, I'm very glad to go there. They found out that the video was actually doctored. I think by BBC, when it looks as if Donald Trump was trying to still get violence. So they actually found out that the video was actually doctored. So there's some certain things that Donald Trump never said. There are people that they doctored the video, and so people who saw it felt like Donald Trump was actually instigating violence. George Floyd aspect, it was serious. A lot of things happened during that time because it was as if America was in a shithole, like chaos, destruction, and serious protests. Black Lives Matter was actually everywhere. BLM. It was literally everywhere. If you had to see both of them, both incidents was actually terrible because January 6th was a very, very horrifying day. People died. It was a very serious thing, and it was like a threat to the government. A lot of things happened during January 6th, and during George Floyd aspects too, a lot of terrible things happened. So if you see both of them, I would say for George Floyd and January 6th, they were both fighting for justice. That is one thing I know about it. They were both fighting for justice, which is important. But the agenda behind it was different. It was actually different. And I love that open dialogue while they were speaking. Professors were actually having an open discussion with them, actually know how they were thinking. During a peaceful protest, when is the right time for police to like intervene? I feel like it's when chaos wants to start or exchange of like vogue word. Police ought to intervene. You understand? And if you ask me, like, no police want to kill someone. There is no police who want to kill anyone unless you are with a weapon. Like this ice protest that's going on right now is if you are with a weapon or you are trying to hurt a police officer, then they will shoot at you. I recently saw a video of a guy who was with a knife who was coming towards a police officer, then they shot at him. So there is no police officer that would love to or would like to kill anyone. Even if it's a self-defense aspect, they still have that thought in their mind for the rest of their life, that guilt or that feeling is still there. You understand? So there is no police officer that would love to do such. You get? So the entire video is actually beautiful. And I try to learn a lot from the professor and also from the students too. I will see you guys in the next video. Tell me what you think about this video. This was actually beautiful to watch. I actually enjoyed every moment of it. And some of these people who protest January 6th, they actually regretted their action based on the chaos that actually happened. So you don't judge people out of anger, especially when they are angry at something. You don't actually like fully judge them. You actually want to calm down the tension and know why they're angry, you understand? So it really matters. It's very George Floyd aspect. People were actually angry. It's like a whole country was pissed off, you understand? So you don't judge people based on what they are doing right there. Though it is bad, but they're actually angry. And is that reason for being angry valid? Yes, you understand? So based on what happened during the situation and the narrative or the perspective everyone was getting at that time, you understand? It seems as if it was terrible. It was actually like a chaos moment at the time. Comment down below what you think about this video. Give us a thumbs up. Share this video as many as can. Subscribe to the channel, guys. I will see you guys on the next video. Make sure you stay safe.